We are still looking at the 2023 election statistics ahead of the election. And Jide?
So, as we were saying, the fact INEC's constant innovations
Yes.
and adoption of technology is making our elections more credible, more believable.
From the polling units now.
You can
start tracking.
You can actually stand for the fidelity of some of our elections now. It's the most recent ones.
You can't tamper with it frontally the way it used to be.
And INEC has been privileged to use the off-season elections to trial some of those innovations so that they can see how it will work before the main general election. So they can see now that, look, this beaver still, yes, it's not perfect. There's no system that is perfect, but it works and it delivers credible election. Election that you and I can proudly say, yes, this was the way we voted.
Exactly.
You can imagine those boys in Osun saying, send result in I'm a funny spot. Yes, that if you are saying that you don't have...
Send it to the...
We will give you hotspot if you are saying you don't have network on your phone. You know, I pray and hope that across our country we can do that during the general election.
Yeah,
you can see when we say young people are registered a lot more this time. People who had never voted before in their lives, a good number of them registered this time. There are different reasons. Some of them want to use their votes to make change happen.
Yeah.
You know, they are not happy with what's going on. You can imagine those kids who are at home, those students, they are at home. You think that even if some of them didn't want to vote before, they won't be encouraged.
That's another word for it now. Go
they are very angry now.
You just
the youth are angry.
Yes.
That is another way
so
to...
now the youth think that, look, enough is enough, that they must register and vote, be a part of the decision makers, those who determine who becomes president or governor in our country. So I'm not surprised that the figure is impressive for these young people. Whether they can sustain that momentum and take it right up to the general election, because it's still a long time. Some of the debates that we are seeing on social media, hopefully it will continue right up to the time of the election so that awareness will remain and the zeal to go and take part in the electoral process will
we don't just want to see voter intimidation. We don't want to see security men being complicit in intimidating voters. We don't want to see vote buying, because that's another problem.
Okay,
you will see
so this it's quite interesting. Fresh registrants, that's 10,487,972. Completed registration, this is a different ball game. Now, 12 million. PWD, that's people with disabilities. Yeah, 87,000. This is quite impressive.
Yes, because the innovations are also factoring them into the whole equation.
Yes.
So they will be happy.
And for youths, 8 million youths that for this exercise, 8.7 million youths thereabout. So in all, we have 96.2 million people will determine who becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria
so you
come
see
February.
You see fresh registrants. These fresh registrants,
Very dangerous.
some of them may be old people who in the past didn't give a hoot about Now, with the youth, that's about 18 million out of the 22 million. 18 million. And this 18 million would be people who want a change. A lot of them. Whether they will show up on election day,
that's another thing we need to follow up.
Yes, because we've seen
I think many will show up. I think many of them will show up, because if you follow the social media conversation. No. See,
That's
A lot of those people on social media, they don't come out.
Because I have
They don't
seen
have their
people
PVC.
even on the streets that say young people that want to vote. You understand? I think this has gone beyond social media. That's the way I personally see it.
I had Peter Obi. No, I think he's the running mate. Saying that this next election, the social media will speak. You see, people twist things that public people say. When Atiku said a good number of their people in the north do not have anything to do with social media, he was saying the truth. He didn't say it to denigrate his own people, but that is the truth. There was a time when Goodluck Jonathan wanted to initiate e-registration of PDP members. People like Governor Sule Lamido at that time said, no way. You can't do e-registration of PDP members because a good number of our people are not literate. They cannot go through it.
Don't have access to social
So
media.
they have to stop it.
Reality,
They have to stop it. Now, those categories of people too, they are not on social media. They have no time.
You stated,
But you will see them, they will come out.
no,
and
you
vote.
stated earlier the most effective way they reach their people. You know,
No, they are
Voice
more
of
current.
America,
They are
Voice
more
of
current than people who are on
just
social
now,
media.
BBC Hausa, the Dutch Weiler, that's their own medium. Transistor radio.
Ayo, there are
medium
many
waves.
stories that happen in our country that those foreign media carry.
Yes.
That our newspapers, our TV stations,
No,
they
don't see them.
they don't carry.
That's
So
why
they are
that's
current.
this why those young people should.
I have Lawan. Thank you for joining us, Lawan.
All right. Good evening. My name is Lawal Suraju. I'm calling from Maiduguri.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I'm a Nigerian youth, and we would love to see change. It is different going on social media to make noise and for you to go out and make that change you want. To me, yes, we need change. But if we look at it, these are the same set of people that are still ruling us right from 1993. All these people have been in power. If we really want change, let's have fresh minds. Let's have fresh people. We are still we're still beating around the same bush. These are still the people ruling us from 80s. Tinubu has been there since. Atiku has been there since.
Thank you, Lawan. We are not discussing about people that are contesting or the candidates now. We are looking at the figures, statistics across the country. It's not our business to look at the candidates yet. So react to this figure that INEC has just released.
It's the parties that threw up those people. There's nothing we can do about it. We would have loved younger people, but since the parties, the parties determine who becomes candidate. The parties brought forward older people. We cannot then get a machete and start saying, no, you must
and
must
young
replace
people
them.
who want a change, let them go to the ballot. It's not about abusing people on social media, abusing people who have
Test your popularity.
political difference with them. This is something that
It is on
common.
social media that you will see
Start
somebody
bullying people,
has
insulting
a
people.
million followers, and he will go and do election and get only 10 votes.
Why do you insult people over their choice? I keep telling them, stop this nonsense.
So it's getting more interesting. I have it zone by zone now. You can see Northwest. Today I want us to talk about some states in this Northwest. The Kaduna, Katsina, and Kano.
Yes. Those states...
For elections.
See, even if for any reason, any of these southern geopolitical zones trumps the Northwest, on election day, the Northwest will record the greater number of votes.
Turnout,
It's always been like that.
That's my concern.
The key,
Yes, it's not collecting the PVC.
mobilizing people to come out on election day
Yes.
is the key. People can register, but a lot of them on their election day, they will be sleeping They will get lazy on election day. They won't come out to vote. So, but with the superior political culture of the North, you can see, you will see the kind of votes that will come from Borno State. Just watch.
And a lot of people will question it. They say, they're at war. They're in IDP camp.
The governor has said we have started house-to-house
Mobilization, sensitization.
sensitization of our people. INEC has not flagged off campaigns officially, but they are already talking to their people. They are going into houses and telling them why they need to. At the end of the day, it will make the difference. And a lot of them are still in IDP camps. So with them still in IDP camps, it's easy to say, look, this is the direction. If you see some of the results that came from IDP camp in 2015, you will ask yourself, what did Jonathan do? The kind of votes that came. You can imagine when someone several thousands, you just see one for the other party. So because they are all localized in the same area, it's easier to talk to them. It's easier to mobilize them to say, look, this is what we want. This is so. There are still many people in the IDP camps in Borno State. The last two elections were largely conducted inside the IDP camps, whether you are talking of Borno Central or Borno South, you know, or Borno North. IDP camps. The IDP camp in Monguno hosted election for Borno North. People from other communities, that was where they voted. Now, you can see that it's going to be easier to, especially for people in government, to simply walk in. They are the ones who serve them food. They say, look, this is our choice. So, you understand? That's what I'm saying. Watch out for the votes that you see from Borno State.
Oh, you can't undermine the KKK states in the Northwest and Borno. Honestly, it is the South that undermines itself. Apart from the fact that we don't even have the numbers that they have. People sit down at home. I just hope there's going to be, like I said again, I hope there's going to be a change. We will see how it goes. But you can't beat those states. You can't beat Kano. You can never beat Kano.
I remember when the
Katsina.
Yeah.
Katsina,
Can't even beat
Kaduna.
Katsina.
You can't beat them.
You can't beat Katsina. Oh, even if we leave Kano, you can't beat Katsina.
You can't beat. No, it's the fact. You may not like it, but
And the
fact
truth
is
is,
fact.
see, I've seen elections in the North. Let's face it, you go to some towns in the North, densely populated, houses built so close to one another. Yeah. When we went to interview Bashir Tofa in 1993, we then decided to visit his village. Man, when my colleague, Ike Okonta, saw Tofa village, he said, wow, people plenty here. We just seen people just...
Tofa village.
Yes, just mushrooming out of their houses. Just, people plenty here. So when they return votes, you will now be thinking that they wrote figures. If you see people coming out of some communities, you too, you will say, people there. That's the thing.